Hey everyone, Diego here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have my updated Blurple list versus my opponent's Ruby Sapphire list. We're practicing the Challenge 2 game format, and we start off by drawing a Chernobog's followers, Crab, Rabbit, Hades, Fox, Bell, and a Tipo. Pretty good. I'm actually really happy with this hand, so I decided to keep it completely. We find a 1-drop, a Rampant Tipo, Rabbit as our 4-drop on turn 3, and then Fox, Bell, and Hades are very good with board control, and we'll definitely need some of that once our opponent begins ramping up and playing those big characters. I also wanted to mention that every time I see Tipo and Crab in my hand, I always keep, since Crab gives Tipo much more value instead of being just a ramp card. So my opponent had a very strong start this game, finding Bell, the unconventional tool, the popsicle, and his ramp card, sell the Azurite Sea. But fortunately for us, we also found our ramp card, Tipo. So here I'm thinking if I wanna quest and leave or quest and pop to draw, and I came to the realization that it's always best to pop it to draw because you have Bell, which pretty much takes out your Chernobog's followers for free, and you lose so much value if you don't get that draw off, and Bell remains on the board after that challenge. So then we play Tipo, inking a mystery card and passing. My opponent plays a Hiram, popping the popsicle to draw 2, and then questing for 1 with the Bell and passes. I ink a Bell on my own for 3. I play Crab, then challenge the Bell trading. That's why Tipo is so valuable there. That combination, especially versus turn 1 Bells, you just want to get that out of there as soon as possible, because otherwise it keeps questing for 1, or you give your opponent the ability to sing with her if they have a 3 cost or less song. My opponent quests for 1 with Hiram, popping a popsicle to draw 2, and then they play another Sail the Azurite Sea to ramp even more, and they play a Vision of the Future, excavating the top 5 cards of their deck, picking 1 to keep, and then the rest go to the bottom of the deck. They ink and pass. I ready up, draw. I sing Friends on the Other Side with Crab, drawing 2 cards. And then for 3, I play a Fox, bouncing Crab, giving +3 Challenger to Fox, and taking out that Hiram. We definitely do not want our opponent to keep drawing off of Hiram, finding those key cards that they need to win. Here I'm thinking about what to ink. I ink a Crab, and then I play a Diablo and a Chernobog's followers, and then pass. My opponent inks a Let It Go, and then plays a Lucky Dime, getting ready for those big characters to come in to just start gaining lore. I use Fox to sing Friends on the Other Side, drawing 2. I quest for 1 with the Chernobog's followers, triggering ability to draw and pop. And then for 4, I play a Rabbit, draw again. I've drawn 4 cards so far this turn. My hand is stacked. I ink a Goat, hate to see it, and then I play 2 Diablos, quest for 1 with the Diablo that was there previously, and pass. So right here, I really do not mind getting Be Prepared, and that's exactly what I'm preparing for. My opponent plays Tamatoa, Happy as a Clam, gets 2 items back from the discard, unconventional tool and popsicle, plays the popsicle, draws a card, inks another Let It Go, plays another popsicle to draw, and then passes. I ready up, draw, and I have to get that Tamatoa out of there 100%. Here we're explaining a ruling to my friend that's right next to us. I let it go the Tamatoa, putting it into my opponent's inkwell, and then I quest for a total of 5 of my characters, putting me to 8 to my opponent's 3 and passing. Trying to organize my characters because there's just so many of them on my side of the board. For 8, my opponent plays Big Tama, and then 2 for Lucky Dime's effect. to gain a total of 4 lore and passes. Already up. Draw. I can sell the Azurite Sea, and then for 5 I let it go the Tamatoa once again. Trying to get rid of those big characters that might get my opponent to 20 very quickly. Then I just quest out and pass. My opponent plays a Hiram, popping the Popsicle to draw 2. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that be prepared, but doesn't seem to be happening, and we really don't mind because we keep questing for 5. My opponent plays Queen of Hearts, takes out the Fox, and then plays a Maui, taking out Rabbit. I draw for both. When they pass, already up, draw, quest out for 3. For 4 I play Goat, gaining a lore, and then for 3 I play a Fox, bouncing the Goat to gain another lore, and then Fox trades with Maui. I pass. I'm at 18 to my opponent's 7. Still waiting for that be prepared. I was so ready for it, and it just has never come down. My opponent quests for 1 with Hiram, popping the unconventional tool to draw 2. Plays a Greatstone Dragon, comes in exerted. Then plays a Sell the Azurite Sea. I know he's looking for that be prepared. Plays a Vision of the Future. And does not find an answer. I was holding the Hades for either his Maui Shark or something big. Game 2. Alright, we start off by drawing into a Churnabox Followers, 2 Goats, Crab, Snake, McDog Manor, and a Churnabox Followers. We find no ramp, so usually here I just keep a 1-drop and send the rest of my hand. I find a Let It Go, Tipo, Scrooge, Churnabox Followers, Diablo, and friends on the other side. Perfect. We find our Tipo and the card we left to see on our turn 3, Scrooge McDuck. If you're liking the gameplay so far, please consider subbing to the channel and dropping a like. We're on the play, and I start off by inking a Churnabox Followers to play a Churnabox Followers. My opponent inks a Sapphire Coil, plays a Popsicle, and draws a card. No bell, nice. We draw. We found a Tipo. I think we're just thinking about what we want to ink. I ink a McDuck Manor, hate to see it. Quest for 1 with the Churnabox Followers. And we decide to keep Deny Trigger because our opponent has nothing on board, so at least we get to squeeze out 1 more lore out of that Churnabox Followers. We play a Tipo, ink a mystery card, and pass. Remember, every lore counts, so we want to quest as much as possible. My opponent inks a Tipo of his own, plays a Sell the Azurite Sea, drawing a card, inks a Vision of the Future, plays a non-conventional tool, popping it to play a bell, and then he gets to play Sapphire Coal for free. Pretty good turn. Quest for 1 with the Churnabox Followers, popping it to draw. I ink a friends on the other side. I play a Scrooge, then quest for 1 with the Tipo. See there, I opted to trigger Churnabox Followers ability because I know it wouldn't survive until next turn. My opponent would have taken it out to deny me that draw, so I popped it to draw. My opponent plays a Hiram, popping the Popsicle to draw 2. Bell takes out Tipo and passes. Already up, draw, ink a Diablo. Scrooge takes out Bell, taking 3 damage. Then I play Bell, moving the damage over to Hiram. And pass. My opponent plays a Popsicle to draw, inks a Tipo. Quest for 1 with the Hiram, popping the Popsicle to draw 2. My PC is just going crazy right now. If you can hear it, I apologize. My opponent plays a Tipo. Wants to ramp even more to get to those big characters. pops the Sapphire Coil to play a Bell and passes. I ready up, draw. Think I sell the Azurite Sea. Scrooge quest for 2. And then Bell takes out Hiram. See here, I believe that was a misplay. I should have taken out Hiram with Scrooge, leaving Scrooge with 4 willpower. But now Bell has 3 willpower left and is easily taken out by Bell, instead of taking both Bell and Tipo to take out the Scrooge. So yep, there we go. There's a trade, Bell versus Bell. Then my opponent plays a Lady Tremaine, and I choose to banish my only character, Scrooge. And then they quest for 1 with the Tipo and pass. At this point, my opponent and I are way too close in lore, and they have board control, so I have to find a way to keep them from questing. So I decide to play a Magduck Manor, so they can worry about taking that out while I try to regain control of the board. My opponent plays a Maui. We hate to see that when we just played our Magduck Manor. It gets immediately taken out. But then it bought us a turn. So I sell the Azure IC. I play a goat to gain 1 lore. I play a fox to bounce it to gain another lore. And I take out the 2 quester, Lady Tremaine. My opponent plays a small Tamatoa, getting back 2 items from the discard. Plays a popsicle, quest for 1 with the Tipo and passes. I play a rabbit. I can sell the Azure IC, play a goat to gain 1 lore, putting me to 8 to my opponent's 3. That gap is getting a little bit wider. My opponent plays a Vision of the Future, excavating the top 5 cards to pick 1 and then put the rest at the bottom of the deck. They play an unconventional tool. Play a Harem to pop the unconventional tool, drawing 2. They play a popsicle to draw. Quest for 2 with the Tamatoa, and they find the lucky dime off those draws. That is crazy. Crazy good for them, crazy bad for us. And they pass. We sing friends on the other side with Rabbit, drawing 2. We play another goat, gaining a lore. Being Ganelsa. Play a Donald Duck, inking a card from the top of our deck, face down and exerted. Here I'm thinking about whether I wanted to quest with the goat, because I'm sure that they're gonna take it out if we do. So I do. I quest for 1 with the goat and pass. Right here we managed to regain board control. I mean, it's pretty even, but at least we're not running behind. My opponent plays another Tamatoa, getting the unconventional tool and the Sapphire Coil from the discard. Quest for 1 with the Hiram, popping the unconventional tool to draw 2, and then plays a Sapphire Coil. Our opponent has a very strong board here. 2 Tamatoas. Imagine they had 2 lucky dimes in hand, playing 2 lucky dimes. That would be GG's. But I think they only played 2. My opponent sings Let It Go on my Donald Duck, sending it straight to the Inkwell. Questing for 1 with the Tipo, questing for 2 with the Tamatoa. And then they decide to redo that. They don't quest with the Tamatoa, instead they take out a goat, just so I don't keep bouncing my goats to gain lore. I'm gonna quest for 2, putting me at 13 to my opponent's 7. Right here I'm counting how much lore my opponent can possibly gain next turn to see if it'll put them at a risky amount. But I decide that we're still pretty far ahead, so I just decide to quest it out and not challenge any of their characters. That's very important, right? When you can decipher kind of like when you should quest and when you should challenge and try to regain control of the board. Um, but if you're far ahead enough in lore, then you can afford to just race and let your opponent worry about your board. Although it's a little bit tough to do that with Ruby Sapphire or Blue Steel because of the items and the Tamatoa. They can get to 20 in a jiffy, so you kind of have to just go with your gut instinct. You ready up, draw. You quest for 2, putting us at 17 to my opponent's 11. Play a snake, getting a lord when bouncing the goat. Then we play the goat again for 19 and bounce the goat once again for 20. GG's. Blurple takes the match. And as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you, and if you like the gameplay, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like. Happy questing.